Okay, we are about to start the very last bout of the weekend. We are going to round out the 2023 Black and Blue scrimmage with the bout that will determine the winner of the whole tournament, Midnight Madness versus Markdowns. It is the classic black on blue bout. If you remember way back in 2011, the first black and blue scrimmage, those were the only colors of the teams was black and blue. That's how few we had. And now we have expanded to 3 days, 2 tracks, and 6 teams. How far have we come? And of course, we want to say thank you so much to Lansing Roller Derby for hosting this tournament, organizing this tournament, and making it so much fun for everyone. I know I look forward to it every year, and I'm sure many of our skaters, fans, NSOs, everyone does as well. It's such a fun tournament. Also, thank you to Ingham County Fairgrounds, our hosts this year. For the first time in black and blue history, we're able to have 2 tracks at once. I think that's the first time in black and blue history. Don't quiz me on that, people. And that was the 5 seconds whistle. We're almost ready to start. And we're going to start out with It's Not Rocket Science, number 6 on the jam line there for the Markdowns. Going to be joined by number 711 Sass on the jam line for the Midnight Madness. And It's Not Rocket Science is going to be your lead jammer. Sass, meanwhile, stuck in the pack. Sass going for the star pass. And Snot Rocket coming up against Violet Knockout in the pack, and the Markdowns are on the board there for 4 points. Violet Knockout, meanwhile, doing a dynamite job at the front of the pack there, doing some blocking. Pepper's also going to come in for an assist. Pepper kind of has Snot Rocket hung up on her shoulder there. Snot Rocket gets loose, comes around for 4 more points. Lula, meanwhile, taking the start there for the Midnight Madness, kind of stuck in the pack. And Snot Rocket blows through everybody again to pick up 4 more points for the Markdowns. Bolt, meanwhile, going to give Lula a little bit of a ride there. Demolition also going to assist. And Snot Rocket hits that wall of black at full force. Not rocket science coming around for another scoring pass. She hitches a ride there on Demolition and comes around for another 4 points. Lula, meanwhile, still trapped in that pack on the initial pass. And Peace War giving a little friendly shove there to Snot Rocket, and that is another 4 points. It's a 24-point jam for Snot Rocket Science, and Snot Rocket is not slowing down anytime soon. That is gonna be the jam. Snot Rocket did pick up 1 more point there. Oh, it's a 26-point jam for the Markdowns. What a start to this last game. Midnight Madness held scoreless. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was Yeti doing a little we're not worthy, Wayne's World thing to Snot Rocket. I do not blame you, Yeti. As a former jammer, I'm thinking the same thing, believe me. So we got number 50, Van Whalen, on the jam line there for the Markdowns. She's going to be joined by number 331, Hemlocked, and Hemlocked is going to be your lead jammer. Hemlocked, meanwhile, headed to the penalty box on a track cut. This is going to be a power jam for Van Whalen. This is exactly what the Midnight Madness need. Hopefully they can catch up to that dynamite 26-point jam that Snot Rocket started us off with. Booty Vicious in the pack. Coming up with Flame, making that impenetrable wall of blue there for Van Walen. Number 28 gonna come in to assist there with a nice big ol' hit. Van Walen coming up against Star and Flame in the pack. And Hemlock coming up against a wall of, quite the wall in the back there as well. And Van Walen breaks around for another 4 points. Both jammers in. So Midnight Madness on the board in this jam. Star pass there to Slamlet, number 187 of the Markdowns. And that is going to be the jam. Looks like Van Walen did pick up 3 more points there for the Midnight Madness. That is going to bring the Midnight Madness up to 12. Markdowns at 26. We have Whitlash, number 40, on the jam line for the Midnight Madness. 801 Anarchy taking the star for the Markdowns. And both jammers kind of fighting their way out. That is a tight pack we have there. And let's see. And Anarchy is out. She is going to be your lead jammer. Whitlash, meanwhile, stuck behind Rogue. Bio also going to come in to assist. Big hit from Yeti there. And Whitlash finally breaks through. Is not going to be your lead jammer. 4 points for Anarchy, and Anarchy calls it off. We've got number 17, the Swoley Mammoth, on the jam line for the Midnight Madness. Number 18, Herderino, jamming for the Markdowns. Herderino just fresh off a MVP jammer in that last bout where the Markdowns took the victory over the Bargain Hunters. And Herderino is going to be lead jammer. Swoley Mammoth, meanwhile, stuck in the pack. Number 1, Lindsay Blohan. Stuck there, and Herderino coming around on that scoring pass. Big hit from Peace War on Lindsay Blohan, though. There looks like Lindsay Blohan tried to take the star there for the Midnight Madness. Herderino, meanwhile, coming around for 4 points. We got a star pass there from, it is Smash taking the star over for the Midnight Madness. And Herderino trapped by a wall of black at the front of the pack. Rock-handed Helen putting in a nice hit there. But the Markdowns pivot, and Peace War keeping Smash well entrapped there at the back of the pack. Herderino coming up against her own teammate, Lucille Brawl there. Brawl's got to let her go, and that's 4 more points going on the board for Herderino. Peace War and the pivot, meanwhile, sounds like a sitcom. Peace War and the pivot have Smash well entrapped at the back of the pack. Herderino coming around for another scoring pass, but Lucille Brawl can't keep her back, and it's 4 points going on the board for Herderino. That's going to be the jam. We have Sid Monster, number 179, On the jam line for the markdowns, we've seen quite a bit of Sid Monster on the jam line all weekend. Sass, number 711, going to be jamming for the Midnight Madness and making it look so easy. She disappears through that pack. Sass is going to be lead jammer. Sass coming up against Chewy at full speed in the pack. Markdowns, meanwhile, still on their initial scoring pass. We got a star pass there, and it's going to be number 15, Bolt, taking the star there for the markdowns. And Hemlock returns to the jam line for the markdowns. Van Walen wearing the star there for Midnight Madness. Hemlock doing a little skating around there on the jam line. Can't quite decide where she wants to begin. And we got some falling down there in the pack. And it is Van Walen is going to be your lead jammer. Hemlock headed to the penalty box. It's a power jam for the Midnight Madness. And again, this could not have come at a better time as the Midnight Madness are behind by 36 points. This could be exactly the chance they need to catch up and start digging into the markdowns lead here. But Booty Vicious is doing a nice job holding things together there at the front of the pack. Slamlet also going to come in to an assist, but the Midnight Madness sees that coming because they're coming in to break up that wall. Yeti doing a nice job holding things down. Booty Vicious also going to throw some hips into Van Walen there. It's a team effort there from the markdowns. Lula tries to break things up for her teammate, but Slamlet and Booty just a little bit too close there. Van Walen looking for that hole on the outside, coming up against Slamlet, and that's what Hemlock needed to get out of that penalty box. But Hemlock has to contend with Voodoo, Dolly, and Lamine in the pack there. Lula also gonna throw some shoulders in there. Both jammers pretty well trapped in that pack. The Midnight Madness, Pivot, and Lula, and Lamine. That is Lindsay Blowhand. What? Who is? Then who's wearing 01 on the black team? Because she's on the roster as 01, so. Oh, I don't know. We have number 40 on the jam line there that's Whitlash jamming for the Midnight Madness. And on the jam line and Whitlash is going to be your lead jammer. Anarchy, meanwhile, getting forced to the back of that pack by number 100, Smackajawea. Anarchy still trapped behind Smackajawea. Smackajawea using a little sign language there with her teammates. Annie DeSpanko also going to come in for an assist. Annie DeSpanko and Smackajawea putting some nice hits there on Anarchy. But Whitlash has it to get through that wall of blue. Demolition almost had to let her go there. Peace War going to come in for an assist there. And I don't know what that whistle meant, but I think someone's getting it out of play. And Whitlash breaks through for 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Meanwhile, number 126 gonna go ahead and have a seat in the sin bin. Peace War taking the star there for the markdowns. And now we got a 3-on-3 pack, 2 blockers in the box. Bio doing a nice job holding things down at the front. Whitlash calls it off midway through. Hi. Okay. Okay. All right. This is not related to the bout, but it is kind of important. We have a wallet turned into the announcer's table. Ohio driver license belonging to Allie McCurdy. Again, Allie McCurdy, if this is yours, please come up to the announcer's table. Thank you. I know. All right, back to the Derby action here. We have, who is that on the jam line? That is not rocket science. Number 6 is going to be lead jammer Sass. Meanwhile, hauling it around the track, not going to be your lead jammer. Snot Rocket gets through 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers and calls it off, bringing the Midnight Madness up to 33. Markdowns now at 56. Once again, we have a wallet that has been turned into the announcer's table. Ohio driver license belonging to Allie E. McCurdy.
They're on the track. That's my sibling. But they're right there on the track.
What's her derby name?
My derby name?
No, hers.
Chewy.
Chewy. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
They were laying down the bleachers.
Okay. All right, Chewy, your sister has your wallet. She looks like you, so I hope she's not just pulling my chain. So we have a lot of yelling and a lot of falling going on out there. Number Herderino is lead jammer, and she's got a lot of Midnight Madness blockers to fight through to start scoring points. Number 21, Hook-Handed Helen, throwing a shoulder in there. And looks like the Swoley Mammoth tried to get a Star Pass. Star Pass achievement not unlocked. 4 more points going on the board for the unstoppable Markdowns. They're now at 60, Midnight Madness at 33. We've got Sid Monster, number 179, back on the jam line there for the Markdowns. Going to be joined by number 50, Van Whalen, jamming for the Midnight Madness. Oh, and number 6112. Say what? I see what you did there. Number 4, Violent Knockout, forcing Sid Monster all the way to the back of that pack. Nice hit there from number 612, Lamine, living up to the name. And Sid Monster having a very tough time getting through, but neither jammer has broken through just yet. Van Whalen coming up against that wall of blue. Booty Vicious doing some amazing blocking this whole tournament. Booty Vicious first competing in the black versus white all gender scrimmage, then for Team Michigan, and now on the track with the Markdowns. Peace War and Slamlet also going to come in to assist. Poor Van Whalen's got her work cut out for her in the pack there. But Sid Monster not having any better luck breaking through those Midnight Madness skaters. We've got a Midnight Madness skater headed to the penalty box. Might make things a little bit easier for Sid Monster, but so far doesn't appear that way. Star also holding things down for the Markdowns at the front of the pack. Van Whalen still trying to push her way through. Pack is almost at a standstill here. We have just 2 minutes left on the period clock here. Violent Knockout is all over the track, seemingly trying to keep Sid Monster pushed to the back. And now Van Whalen only has to get past Peace War and Booty Vicious. But that's going to be the jam. Double goose egg there. Vicious blocking from both teams. That was And look, that looked brutal. I feel bad for the jammers, but at the same time, not going to lie, that was pretty fun to watch. We got Racer McChaser, number 28, up on the jam line for the Midnight Madness. Number 331, Anarchy, will be jamming for the Markdowns. Racer McChaser kind of hop, skip, and jumping her way through on the outside. Racer McChaser is going to be lead jammer. We got Star Pass there to Rogue, number 12 from the Markdowns. And meanwhile, Racer McChaser just comes right around for 4 points. Rogue coming up. Oh, nice Apex jump there from Racer McChaser. 4 points going on the board there for Racer. 4 points also going on the board for the Markdowns. It's not rocket science holding down that wall of blue. Racer calls it off mid-pack, but still picks up 3 points there for the Madness. And Rogue also matches her point for point there for the Markdowns. We have just 24 seconds left on the period clock as we line up for this last jam of the period. It is 7-11 SAS on the jam line there for the Midnight Madness. 8:01 Anarchy jamming for the Markdowns. Coming up against Lucille Brawl there in the pack. Lucille not making it easy as Smackajawea trying to force Anarchy all the way to the back of the pack. And that's what's said, but Sass manages to get out first. She's going to be your lead jammer. And Sass coming around that scoring pass. She's got to contend with Bio and 4-leaf Clobber there in the pack. And Clobber's got to let her go. 4 points on the board there for the Midnight Madness. And she comes up against 4-leaf Clobber and Bio again. Chewy also going to come in to assist. Lucille Brawl going to the penalty box for something. I didn't see what, but it must have been bad. Peppers and Smackajawea, meanwhile, making a 2-wall there at the front of the pack for the beleaguered Anarchy. Anarchy going for the star pass. Doesn't look like she's been able to pull it off just yet. Roller Debris trying to break that wall up for her jammer. Bio doing a nice job holding down that blocker line there. Bio, Chewy, and 4-leaf Clobber working together to push Sass out of the way. Pack's back at 4 strength. Lucille Brawl coming to help break up that 3-wall there for her jammer. And number 47, Roller Debris, meanwhile looking to also do the same for Sass, but Sass is going to get hung up on Bio at the front of the pack. Sass breaks through for 4. That's going to be the jam, and we are at intermission. Markdowns at Midnight Madness up to 52. Markdowns at 67. So we've got a 15-point game, and we'll see you again in just 5 minutes. Yep. And so, with that whistle, intermission is officially over, and we've got Herderino, number 18, on the jam line for the markdowns. Going to be joined by number 28, Racer McChaser of the Midnight Madness. Jam timer has said 5 seconds, and the second half has officially started. 5-on-5 on the pack, and Racer McChaser is going to be lead jammer. We got a star pass from Herderino over to number 6. It's not rocket science, and Racer McChaser coming up against everybody in the pack, blows right past them all for 4 points and calls it off. That's 4 points for Midnight Madness and nothing for the markdowns there. Midnight Madness still edging ever so slowly into the markdowns lead. It looks like we are doing 20-minute halves. Clock is now at 19:19. As Sid Monster, number 179, returning to the jam line for the markdowns. Sass, 7-11, out there jamming for the Midnight Madness. And that is Sass, number 7-11. She is going to be your lead jammer. And it appears that Peace War has changed teams. Peace War now skating for the dark side, the Midnight Madness. Sass coming around 4-4. Peace War doing some nice blocking there in the pack. Sid Monster having a really tough time getting through. Sass goes tumbling to the floor along with Booty Vicious and Demolition. Booty Vicious coming around to the front, trying to make things a little easier for her jammer. Then Booty Vicious sees that line and says, I don't know about that. Bio, meanwhile, coming around to the front. Sass coming up against Bio. Oh, Sass is coming around for 4. We could see the Midnight Madness overtake the markdowns in this period. Markdowns all yet again held scoreless in this jam. That's going to bring the Midnight Madness up to 64. Markdowns at 67. We've got a 3-point game, ladies and gentlemen. So close. We got 3:31. Hemlock back on the jam line there for the markdowns. Going to be joined by Van Whalen, number 50 of the Midnight Madness. Hemlock, meanwhile, fighting her way through, trying to get past Annie DeSpanko there. And number 47, Roller Debris, also throwing a hip into Van Whalen there. But what is this? Hemlock has to come in behind Smash. Smash gonna force her all the way to the back, and Rogue coming around to do a little bit of bridging. Oh, we've got a Midnight Madness blocker headed to the box. Both jammers still trapped in that pack. Hemlock still hanging on to that jammer star though, and Hemlock is gonna be lead jammer. Van Whalen, meanwhile, still stuck in the pack behind that wall of blockers. Rogue has to let her go, though. She is out. And Hemlock coming around on that scoring pass. Got to get past Smash and Lucille Brawl. And that is going to be the jam. Looks like markdowns did score 1 point on that jam, bringing them up to 69. Midnight Madness at 64, just a 5-point game. Could go either way at this point. We've got 801 Anarchy on the jam line for the markdowns. Going to be joined by Whitlash, number 40, jamming for the Midnight Madness. And right away, Whitlash coming up against some resistance from those markdowns. She's looking for that hole. She's got, oh, getting knocked over by the ghost blocker again. I don't know how, but that invisible blocker seems to find her way into every bout, no matter where it may take place. It is something else. So but Whitlash, meanwhile, is still looking for that hole in hole in the pack, and she finds it. Whitlash gonna be lead jammer. Anarchy, meanwhile, still stuck in the back of that pack. Rogue coming in hoping to assist. Looks like Anarchy trying to get a star pass there. Oh, star pass unlocked. It is Bolt number 15 running away with the star. True to her name, Bolt can skate pretty freaking fast there, but Whitlash is gonna call it. Hey, Whitlash didn't call it. She got called out on a penalty. This is going to be a power jam for the Markdowns. Oh, this is exactly what the Midnight Madness did not need at this point. Oof. And we have Herderino, number 18 of the Markdowns, coming up to the jam line. Herderino working her way through that pack. Black, of course, working as a team to keep her from doing that. Flame trying to break up that wall of black there at the front for Herderino. Peace War trying to keep that wall of black together. Pepper going to come in to assist. Baby Apex jump from Herderino. She will be your lead jammer. Herderino hitting that pack at full speed. Got to get past Pepper and Peace War. Flame hits Peace War out of the way. Herderino hits it and quits it. Scores 4, calls it off. That did get Whitlash out of the penalty box, but not enough for Whit to score any points. So that's going to widen the lead. Markdowns now at 77. Midnight Madness 66. We have just over 13 minutes left to go in this bout, and 13 minutes left to go in this weekend. What a great time it's been. We got an official timeout being called, but this is a pretty good time for me to say thank you to everyone who helped pull this awesome weekend together. Thank you so much to all of our visiting coaches, as well as everyone who has come from near and far to participate in the 11th annual Black and Blue scrimmage. Thank you so much to our refs, our NSOs, our medics. Thank you so much to our fans, our Derby widows and widowers. And again, thank you so much to Lansing Roller Derby. We know putting on this big tournament every year is not easy. It is a Herculean effort of planning, logistics, and just manpower. And we appreciate you so much for taking the time to do it each and every year. And thank you also to Ingham County Fairgrounds for hosting us this weekend. And did I forget anybody? And thank you, fans, all 25 of you here watching. Thank you so much for spending your weekend with us, watching some great roller derby. And we hope you go home and support your local roller derby team. There's the long whistle. Timeout is now over. We're about to get back to the action here. We've got Sass, number 711, on the jam line for the Midnight Madness. Going to be joined by Sid Monster, number 179, jamming for the Markdowns. Right away, things heating up in the pack, and Sid Monster comes out first. Sid's going to be lead jammer. Sid, Sid taking a cue from the bench to just keep right on going, but she's coming up against Voodoo Dolly and Lindsay Blowhand in the pack there, putting up some serious resistance from the Midnight Madness. And Sid gets out, putting up 4 points for the Markdowns. That's going to bring the Markdowns up to 81. Sass looking to get a star pass. Star pass achievement not unlocked. Smackajawea, meanwhile, holding down that wall there for the Midnight Madness. Sid gets halfway through, decides to call it off. Sid did pick up 1 more point there for the Markdowns. So we have Peace War, number 27, on the jam line for Midnight Madness. Going to be joined by number 331, Hemlocked, jamming for the Markdowns. Four-leaf clobber making eye contact there with Peace War. Peace War takes a little more than that to scare someone with a name like Peace War. Oh, Peace War's almost out. Gets sucked right back into the pack, and Hemlocked is gonna be lead jammer. Peace War, meanwhile, still working her way through on that initial pass. Rogue and four-leaf clobber working to stop her. Peace War scoots around clobber. Pack is kind of grouped up there on the outside lane. Hemlock taking a very loud cue from the bench there to call it off. Hemlock did pick up 2 points there for the Markdowns, and Midnight Madness held scoreless. We've got just over 10 minutes left in this bout, this last bout of this fabulous black and blue weekend. It's Anarchy, number 801, on the jam line for the Markdowns, number 50, Van Whalen, jamming for the Midnight Madness. And nice hip out there from Fraw Blocker of Midnight Madness. Anarchy having a tough time getting through there. Number 44 also going to come in to assist. That is Rampage. And same thing coming up against Violet Knockout as well. And Van Whalen is going to be lead jammer. Anarchy, meanwhile, stuck behind Violet Knockout and Rampage. But Van Whalen also getting sucked to the back of the pack there by Star. We got a star pass there from Anarchy. She's trying to get the star over to Bolt, and Midnight Madness trying to block. Van Whalen, meanwhile, coming around for 4 points there for the Midnight Madness. This game getting real intense there. Both benches screaming. This is fun. 2-star. We do have a star pass there, and it is Bolt number 15 taking the star. She's coming down the track like a bolt of lightning just as the jam is called off. Well, that's going to bring the Midnight Madness up to 73, Markdowns at 87. It's a 15-point game, and we've got only 9 minutes left to go. Herderino comes back to the jam line for the Markdowns, and it's number 28, Racer McChaser, lining up way behind the jam line for Midnight Madness. Racer McChaser, long time skater for Detroit Roller Derby, been tearing it up on the flat track for 17 years, primarily as a jammer, but also as a blocker. She is fast, she is controlled, and she knows exactly what she's doing, and she's coming around for 4 more points. Herderino is out, will not be lead jammer. Pack is grouped up on turn 1. Apex jump there from Racer, but she doesn't quite stick the landing and calls it off. Reno held scoreless in that jam. Still, it's going to, and we've got an official timeout being called. There's the long whistle. That means timeout's over and game is back in action. We have Sid Monster 179 on the jam line for the markdowns. Going to be joined by number 40, Whitlash of Midnight Madness. 5-on-5 in the pack. Sid Monster looking for that opening on the inside. Doesn't quite find it. She's got to get in behind number 21, Hook-Handed Helen. Oh, wow. Violet knockout forcing Sid to the back of that pack. Whitlash, meanwhile, has to contend with a four wall there at the front of that pack. Great blocking there from Yeti. And four-leaf clobber of the markdowns. Oh, she was almost out, but look at this. Yeti is going to force Whitlash all the way to the back of that pack. Oh, cruel misfortune, Sid. That's all Sid needed to come out first, and Sid Monster is going to be lead jammer. Pack is almost at a standstill on the turn. Sid coming up against Smackajawea in the pack. Smackajawea, member of Indigenous Rising Roller Derby and also Traverse City Roller Derby. No stranger to the track. Quite the skater. Also was spotted in the tryouts for Team Michigan earlier today. Sid has to line back up behind Smackajawea. Meanwhile, Whitlash still on that initial pass. The markdowns just keep sucking her back, sucking her back, sucking her back into that pack. It is number 6. It's not rocket science, doing it again. And Sid coming around for 4 points. Jam clock is winding right down. Yep, Sid decides to let it go to 2 minutes. Scores 1 more point there, and Midnight Madness held scoreless. That's going to put markdowns just 6 points below the century mark at 94. Midnight Madness at 81. Still, very close game. 13-point spread here. Peace War number 27 is back on the jam line for Midnight Madness. Hemlock going to join her, number 331, for the markdowns. And right away, Peace War is engaging in a little jammer on jammer shove. And Peace War is going to be lead jammer, but Hemlock not that far behind. Pack is moving fast, fast, fast. Peace War urging the pack to keep right on going. Hemlock coming up on the side of Peace War, trying to slow her down a little bit there. Hemlock coming up against that wall of Bo Toxic and Lula, doing a dynamite job holding things down. Slamlet trying to break it up. Meanwhile, Peace War coming around for 4 points, and she's not slowing down. Peace War jumping around the outside, making it look so easy. Another 4 points going on the board for Midnight Madness. And Peace War hitting that pack at full speed. She's coming up against the back of number 15, Bolt. But Hemlock, meanwhile, not having any easier time tangling with Bo Toxic and Annie Despanko there. Chewy, meanwhile, trying to break up that wall there for her jammer. And Peace War has to tangle with number Reality checked there at the front of the pack, but she's also coming around for 4. Pack is at a standstill, kind of divided into 2 here, but still less than 10 feet apart. So technically it's not a no pack. And it looks like Hemlock did steal a point there at the end, but still, that was a great jam for Midnight Madness, catching them up to the markdowns. Madness now at 94, markdowns at 97 with just 3 minutes left. Sass and Herderino engaging in a little jammer on jammer love at the jam line. That is so adorable. 4-on-3 pack. Midnight Madness starting this one out with 1 in the box. Sass looking to get on the outside. Demolition and Flame are going to shut that down right away. But it is Sass coming out, is going to be your lead jammer, and she's skating like those wheels are on fire. But Herderino almost as fast here, working the track with those crossovers. Lucille Brawl trying to hold things together in the front. Herderino stumbles to the middle just as Sass decides to call it. Sass did pick up a couple of points there for the Madness. We have a 1-point game, ladies and gentlemen, with just 2.5 minutes left. Markdowns at 97, Midnight Madness at 96. Madness making a bit of a comeback here after Snot Rocket had that incredible 24-point jam early in the first half. Markdowns were holding a pretty steady lead until now. And speaking of Snot Rocket, there she is again on the jam line, and she is pulling no punches on her way through the pack. Snot Rocket Science is your lead jammer. Snot Rocket coming up against that wall of black there. But Van Walen has a wall of blue of her own to contend with at the back of that pack. She's going for the star pass to number 126, whoever that may be. As Tear 'em Up taking the star there for the Madness. Snot Rocket, meanwhile, coming around for 4, and markdowns are over the century mark at 105 points. Midnight Madness up to 96. Tear 'em Up. Oh, Snot Rocket coming around again for another 4 points. Tear 'em Up kind of stuck in the pack there. Pack is almost at a standstill there. Looks like Peace War is trying to break up that wall of blue, but Bios left her a nice hole on the outside. Snot Rocket comes around for another 4 points. 4-leaf clobber meanwhile, and Bio working doing their level best to keep Tear 'em Up contained, and it is working. Snot Rocket comes around for another 6 points. Nice hit by Peppers on Pivot Rogue there. Snot Rocket coming around backwards, then flipping around forwards for another 4 points. Tear 'em Up still trapped in the pack. Still does not have that star on her helmet. Snot Rocket does a little baby apex jump there and scores another 4 points for the markdowns. What an incredible jam that was. And we have just a few seconds left on the clock, and the Midnight Madness have called a team timeout. timeout's over, and it looks like we have time for just one more jam, and we've got Racer McChaser, number 28, on the jam line there for the Midnight Madness. Number 179, Sid Monster jamming for the Markdowns, and it's 5-on-5 out there. Things are looking pretty rough. Peace War doing a dynamite job of blocking there at the back of that pack with Violet. And Racer McChaser is going to be lead jammer. Star Pass, meanwhile, coming from the Blue Brigade. It is Bolt, number 15, taking the star. Racer McChaser is coming around for 4 points. Bolt is on her scoring pass, meanwhile. Bolt getting forced to the back of that pack there by Smackajawea and Peace War. Number 4, Violet, also going to come in to assist. That's another 4 points on the board for Racer McChaser. Midnight Madness broken the century mark now at 104 points. Bolt still very much in the action, though, coming up against the back of that pack. And Bolt tries to call it off, but she's not lead jammer. Oh no, Bolt is headed to the penalty box. This could be where the Midnight Madness takes it all. But Racer McChaser coming up against Kobe there in the pack, but they're no match for Racer. Racer scoring 4 more points for the Midnight Madness. Madness now at 112. Markdowns at 125. Bolt still has a few, and we still have 40 seconds on that period clock. And Racer McChaser picks up another 4 points. And the gap is down to 9 points. Everyone in the crowd is screaming. But Racer McChaser stays upright and in bounds. Star can't keep her in line, and it is only a 5-point game at this point. Midnight Madness 120, Markdowns 125, and Racer McChaser comes through again. It is a 1-point game, ladies and gentlemen. Midnight Madness 124, Markdowns 125. Bolt is out of the penalty box and more than ready to score. That's going to be the jam. Bolt puts 4 points on the board right out of the penalty box, but Racer McChaser also puts 4 points on the board, and that was a very timely pass there from Bolt. Our unofficial final is Markdowns 129, Midnight Madness. That was one hell of a jam from Racer McChaser. Somebody out there who's better at math than me, count up all the points Racer scored in that jam, because I sure as hell couldn't keep count there. And everyone who waited till the end of the night, that was well worth the wait. What a game, coming down to the last jam like that. It was simply incredible. Now we have to give the officials just a few minutes to make their final tabulations. And it looks like the Midnight Madness did gain a point there at the end. So we just have to wait and see how things shake out here. And the final score has been announced, and the Markdowns are the victors by just 1 point. Markdowns 129, Midnight Madness 128. What a game. This was the closest match of the tournament, and it was well worth the wait here. But the Markdowns are going to take it all here. This last jam. Congratulations, both teams. I haven't counted how many years the Markdowns have won the tournament. That's lost to the... Twice? What was that? Okay. Okay, and the Markdowns, bridesmaids no more, often taking second place in this tournament, now rolling away with the victory. Congratulations, Markdowns. You have earned it.